A sniper eliminates a mine. The latest images from the liberation of the village of Gornal. Russian drone operators achieved great success in these operations and played an important role in the liberation of the village. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that the crew of a Mi-28NM helicopter destroyed the temporary deployment point of the Air Force Command in the Southern Troop Group Responsibility Zone with a guided missile. The nuclear-powered submarine cruiser Krasnoyarsk successfully hit a coastal target at the Kura test site in Kamchatka with a caliber cruise missile from a distance of more than 1,100 kilometers during a planned exercise in the Pacific Ocean.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
This is how a soldier of the Russian armed forces blew up a bunker of the Ukrainian armed forces using an anti-tank mine in the Pokrovsk direction. Russian aviation and artillery are striking the bunkers and strongholds of the Ukrainian armed forces.
Ёпсы мопсы. Максимально.
Russian infantry throws explosives at the bunker of the Ukrainian armed forces and destroys the position. UAV operators of the 36th Independent Guard Motorized Rifle Brigade of the Vostok Group destroyed infantry and equipment of the armed forces of Ukraine in the village of Bogatyr. Footage of combat training of North Korean soldiers participating in the liberation of the Kursk region has emerged. Earlier, Putin had thanked the special forces of the Korean People's Army for participating in the defeat of a group of Ukrainian infantry in the region. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. During the week, the Russians intercepted about 260 airstrikes by the Ukrainian armed forces over major cities in Donetsk. UAV operators of the 35th United Armed Forces Army of the Vostok Group destroyed 3 vehicles of the infantry of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. It looks like the infantry will have to walk. During reconnaissance, Russian operators detected the Ukrainian Armed Forces bunker. The bunker contained a large number of infantrymen. Drones capable of dropping ammunition mobilized and dropped aerial bombs one after the other. The attacks on the bunkers continued unabated. Other bunkers in the trenches were also destroyed by dropping ammunition one after another. Russian drones work continuously, day and night. The Russian fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod hit infantry on the move. Sometimes attack drones also do reconnaissance. This is because attack drones need to be constantly on the move in order to hit such instantaneous moving targets. They cannot wait for coordinates from reconnaissance drones. Kursk region. The Abrams tank abandoned by the Ukrainian armed forces is being prepared for evacuation and restoration. Do you think this tank should be used in offensive operations after restoration? Would this move surprise the enemy? Their tank attacking them. The Russian fiber-optic drone tracked the movement of the armored personnel carrier and disabled it with an accurate hit. Several more kamikaze drones with fiber optics flew to the target. The footage shows Ukrainian armed forces infantry trying to disengage from the armored vehicles. An armored vehicle attempting to enter Chasiv Yar was destroyed by paratroopers from the 98th Division of the Russian Airborne Forces by drones capable of dropping ammunition. One FPV drone intercepted the armored vehicle. Then another incoming drone dropped a bomb on the armored vehicle and destroyed it. Meanwhile, the crew quickly left the vehicle after the first attack. Notice that this time, the doors of the armored vehicle are not open. UAV operators of the Southern Group detected the Ukrainian UAV control point. For a while, they watched what was happening. Then another fiber-optic drone took off for attack and flew to the target. With a single strike, the UAV destroyed the control point. A pickup truck was spotted in the same direction. The crew was unloading cargo from the pickup when it was targeted by a Russian attack drone. A Ukrainian tank parked among the trees in the Lipsovsky direction was destroyed by a Russian FPV drone. The drone hit so hard that even the ammunition inside the tank exploded. The tank slowly burned and was scrapped. Near Petropavlivka, a Ukrainian 82mm mortar position was destroyed by a drone capable of dropping ammunition. Near Demidovka, near the border with Belgorod region, you can see a large number of destroyed Ukrainian armored vehicles. A large number of million-dollar equipment shattered under the fire of the Russian armed forces. The fighting in Belgorod continues intensively. At the same time, there are numerous guided missile attacks in the area. K-52 helicopters are actively involved in the fighting in support of Russian troops. Sumy direction. The Ukrainian armed forces drove an American-made Bradley BMP into a populated area where a group of Russian infantry was waiting for it. As the armored vehicle approached, a Russian drone suddenly appeared out of nowhere and struck the Bradley hard. The crew of the armored car panicked and abandoned the armored car and drove away. Later, another drone arrived and delivered the final blow to the Bradley. In the direction of Chasiv Yar, paratroopers of the 215th Independent Reconnaissance Battalion and the 98th Airborne Division's 331st Parachute and Airborne Regiment destroyed 2 M113 armored personnel carriers and a D-30 howitzer. Exclusive footage from the direction of Kharkiv. A tank belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces is blown up in an epic fashion after a precision strike by a Russian drone. The UAV control point of the armed forces of Ukraine was detected. Reconnaissance operators thoroughly scanned the position and recorded the coordinates of the target. The attack drones then mobilized and destroyed the position. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. In Kharkiv region, an armored vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces hit a mine in the middle of the road. During an aerial reconnaissance in the Kharkiv region, the northern UAV operator of the Russian Air Force uncovered and destroyed a Ukrainian armed forces ground-type UAV with an anti-tank mine planted on it. Russian drone operators followed them, and when they were parked in the forest belt, attack drones were activated and flew directly at the two soldiers. Two Russian servicemen destroyed the basement where the Ukrainian armed forces personnel were located by throwing an anti-tank mine into the basement. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that FPV UAV operators of the South Troops destroyed an armored HMMWV and a pickup truck of the armed forces of Ukraine near the village of Myskoye. As far as I can see from the video, the drone that carried out the attack is the Prince of Novgorod Vandal fiber optic drone. Zaporizhzhia direction. As we are used to seeing, Russian drone operators easily destroyed an armored vehicle with an open back door. This armored vehicle, abandoned after the Russian attacks, was scrapped after the attack. In the Sumy region, a T-72 tank was spotted parked among the trees. The Russian drone hit the tank's sensitive point and the tank was scrapped. Near Toretsk, Russian reconnaissance drone operators uncovered the Ukrainian Armed Forces control station. The Ukrainian UAV operator first put the drone outside, but then, for some unknown reason, brought it back inside. While the Ukrainian operator was inside maintaining the drone, the Russian attack drone slowly arrived at the UAV station and entered, greeting everyone. Pokrovsk direction. This is how the Russian fiber optic drone operators, Prince Vandal of Novgorod, destroyed a tank of the Ukrainian armed forces in the basement. They made great efforts to hide and protect the tank, but it still did not survive the fiber optic drone attack. In the same direction, fiber optic drone operators destroyed the German Marder armored vehicle after 2 accurate hits. Then, its operators found a camouflaged self-propelled howitzer and shot it down, turning it into scrap. During an air patrol near the settlement of Lipsy in the Kharkiv region, a fiber optic drone found a Kozak armored vehicle with its door open. We are used to seeing in every video that armored vehicles are abandoned by the crew with the door open. The vehicle was scrapped. During the clashes in the village of Tarasovka, the KVN destroyed an American-made M113 armored personnel carrier with a fiber optic FPV drone strike. FPV drone operators of the assault unit of the 5th Independent Guard Tank Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces combat work with the Vostok Group in the southern Donetsk direction. In the footage, the reconnaissance unit monitors the movement of the Ukrainian Armed Forces infantry. Then, when the movement of the infantry is stable, an attack drone approaches their position and destroys them wherever they are. In the footage, the fiber optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod is used. Thanks to this, in case of any REB system, the drone can continue on its way without losing its movement.